Okay, Mr. Maley.
Okay. Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Hanover Area School District Board of Education reorganization meeting, Tuesday, December 1st, 2020. Roll call.
Johnny, you want to do the pledge?
I'm just going by what's okay.
Okay, all right. Ms. Bleich,
Present.
Mr. Chivarella,
Present.
Honor. Can everybody please mute their microphones that's on this call?
Mr. Holmgren,
Present.
Dr. Kopko,
Here.
Mr. Maley,
Here.
Mr. Majer,
Here.
Ms. Potsko. Ms. Potsko? Joyce, you're muted.
Here, could you hear me now?
Yep. Mr. Reddick,
Here.
Mr. Stevens here. Quorum established.
Rick, did you say Mr. Majer?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to
The United States of America
America.
and to the republic for which it
Which
stands,
stands
one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Okay, appointment of temporary chairperson.
I make a motion to appoint Joyce Potsko as temporary chairperson.
I'll second that.
Second by Stacy McGovern. All in favor?
You have to vote
Aye.
on it. You have to
vote on it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Roll call.
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Chivarella,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko,
Yes.
Mr. Maley,
Yes.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Ms. Potsko,
Abstain.
Mr. Reddick,
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes.
Do we have any nominations for president?
I would like to nominate Mr. John Maley.
Second.
Okay.
Roll call.
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Chivarella,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko,
Yes.
Mr. Maley,
Abstain.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Ms. Potsko,
Yes.
Mr. Reddick,
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes.
Okay, election of vice president.
Nominate Stacy McGovern.
Second.
Roll call.
Who had the second there?
Popko.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Kopko.
Roll call.
Ms. Bleich,
Abstain.
Mr. Chivarella,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko,
Yes.
Mr. Maley,
Yes.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Ms. Potsko,
Yes.
Mr. Reddick,
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes.
Okay, number 7. Appointment of the Wilkes-Barre Area Vocational Technical School Representative.
I nominate John Maley. to continue as the representative.
Second.
Roll call?
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Chivarella,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko,
Yes.
Mr. Maley,
Abstain.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Ms. Potsko,
yes,
Mr. Reddick,
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes.
Okay, appointment of alternate Wilkes-Barre area vocational technical school representative.
I would like to nominate Paul Holgram to continue as the alternate.
Second,
Roll call?
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Chivarella,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren,
Abstain.
Dr. Kopko,
Yes.
Mr. Maley,
Yes.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Ms. Potsko,
yes,
Mr. Reddick,
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes.
Okay, number 9, the setting of the date, time, and place of a regular monthly work session. It will be the first Tuesday of every month, starting at 5:30 p.m. Can we have a motion?
That's the work session, right, John?
Yes, work session.
Yeah. Yeah, motion.
Motion by Frank Chivarella,
Second.
second by Mike Majer. Roll call?
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Chivarella,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko,
Yes.
Mr. Maley,
Yes.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Ms. Potsko,
yes,
Mr. Reddick,
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes.
Okay, setting up the date, time, and place of the regular monthly meeting. It will be the first Tuesday following the work session. Can I have a motion?
Motion,
Motion by Rick Stevens,
Second.
second by Paul Holmgren. Roll call?
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Chivarella,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko,
Yes.
Mr. Maley,
Yes.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Ms. Potsko,
yes,
Mr. Reddick,
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes.
Okay, number 11, the use of the facsimile signatures. Need a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Paul Holmgren. I think that was Paul.
Who you
Second.
nominating?
That wasn't me, John.
Oh, Dr. Kopko then, sorry.
Are we're on the number 11, use of facsimile signatures, is that correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
Dr. Kopko. And who seconded it?
I'll second it.
Nope.
Okay, second by Frank Chivarella. Roll call?
Ms. Bleich,
Question, Attorney Finnegan.
Yes.
Are we able to make a motion on that?
Are you able to make a motion on what?
Like,
Somebody should have their mute on, because all I hear is a child making a lot of noise. Go ahead, Stacy. What was your question?
being signatures for president, vice president, secretary, am I able to motion on that?
Yes, you can make a motion on that. Yes.
Okay. Okay, yes.
Could you please make sure that your microphones are on mute?
I'm sorry, Mr. Stevens, yes.
I apologize, Ms. Bleich. Ms. Kitchen, if you see who that is, just remove them from the meeting, please.
It's an
Mr. Pre-
iPhone.
Mr.
It's an iPhone that is the guest, and that is also one of our board members. So I'm not sure which one to remove.
Hey,
Mr. Maley, are you still on the meeting?
tell Gwen to be quiet.
Yeah, he's muted.
Okay. All right. We should be good now.
He's trying to talk, John is. He's muted.
I hear you.
Muted.
Okay, I'm good, Frank.
All right.
Thank you.
This year on that.
Okay. I got a statement here. I would like to thank my fellow board members for appointing me to another term of president of the Board of Education. Although we did not anticipate another school year this way, I am proud of the virtual learning plan that our superintendent has developed, allowing teachers to instruct and students to learn from their homes. While this health crisis has presented many challenges, our staff, parents, and students have adjusted their way of life to adapting during these trying times. Kitchen tables have become classrooms, masks have become new dress code, and sporting events are viewed only by participants. We know this change is difficult for everyone, and we want you to know that Hanover Area School District is dedicated to supporting our students and their families, both academically and emotionally. On behalf of the Board of Education, I would like to thank our superintendent, administration, staff, parents, students, community for hard work, commitment, and support of the Hanover Area School District. Best wishes to everyone for a safe and healthy holiday. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Mr. President, I believe we still have to vote on number 11. Is that correct, Mr. Finnegan?
Yeah, I don't think we finished.
Right.
Yes, Rick, I'm sorry. We got distracted there. We do have to vote on that.
Okay. Mr. President, you ready for roll call on number 11?
Yep.
Dr. Kopko
Yeah.
made the motion and Mr. Chivarella made the second, correct?
Right.
So we just have to vote on it.
Okay. Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Chivarella,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko,
Yes.
Mr. Maley,
Yes.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Ms. Potsko, Ms. Potsko, Joyce, are you there?
Yeah, yes.
Mr. Reddick,
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes.
Okay, number 13. Can I have a motion to adjourn the reorganization meeting?
Motion.
Motion by Stacy McGovern,
Second.
second by Mike Majer. Roll call.
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Chivarella,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko,
Yes.
Mr. Maley,
Yes.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Ms. Potsko,
Yes.
Mr. Reddick,
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes.
Okay, meeting adjourned. Now we'll go to the regular meeting of Tuesday, December 1st, 2020. We're not going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, but we'll do roll call.
Ms. Bleich,
Present.
Mr. Chivarella,
Present.
Mr. Holmgren,
Present.
Dr. Kopko,
Here.
Mr. Maley,
Here.
Mr. Majer,
Here.
Ms. Potsko,
Here.
Mr. Reddick,
Here.
Mr. Stevens, present, quorum established.
Okay. Approval and acceptance of minutes and reports. The regular meeting minutes of November 4th, 2020, and the Luzerne Intermediate Unit Board of Directors regular meeting minutes of October 28th, 2020. Can I have a
Mr.
motion?
Maley,
Yes,
excuse me, before we go to that, we have to do public input for agenda items. Do we have any public input?
we're in the agenda.
Lisa, is everybody open?
To vote on that, what do you call it?
Yes, no one has any questions at this time.
No one has questions? Okay. And also, I'd just like to make a brief announcement. We did discuss an executive session on some personnel items which will be on the agenda this evening. Okay, thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, approval of acceptance of minutes and reports. Regular meeting minutes of November 4th, 2020. Luzerne Intermediate Unit Board of Directors regular meeting minutes of October 28th, 2020. I have a motion.
Motion, Holmgren.
Second.
Second by Rick Stevens. Roll call.
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Chivarella,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko,
Yes.
Mr. Maley,
Yes.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Ms. Potsko,
Yes.
Mr. Reddick,
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes.
Okay, superintendent's report.
Yes, thanks, Mr. President. I want to congratulate you and Mrs. Bleich on your appointments again this year. Thank you for all you have done, allowing me to steer this ship in the right direction of keeping people safe during this time. So I thank you, and I thank you for this board support. It's been difficult, and it's not the most ideal educational situation. I'm very mindful of that, but safety always comes first in my mind. So again, I thank you and this board for letting me move forward with these decisions. I hope everybody had a safe and happy Thanksgiving, nice and relaxing. I want to congratulate a few folks throughout this this superintendent's report. I want to thank the teaching staff. Since our last meeting, they did some unbelievable work honoring veterans with Veterans Day. Unfortunately, we were not able to present veterans with any of their craft that they've worked with their students, but we were able to display these using our social media. So I thank the students and I thank the staff for their creativity in honoring our veterans during the second week in November. So thank you very much for your dedication to honoring these heroes. Next, I would like to announce that on December the 17th, we will be helping the community with working in partnership with the Hanover Area School District and the CEO Food Bank, doing a food distribution for our community, our administration, and our board. With our board's approval this evening, we're moving forward with a December 17th food distribution at our high school beginning at 3 p.m. We will have this advertised. The flyer will be posted to our social media and our website beginning tomorrow, but I do want to announce this while we have everybody on this public meeting. In addition, I want to congratulate our district for the hard work by Dr. Kopko spearheading a committee to start seeking donations to the school district. He was able to obtain $35,000 for our district and helps to create some equity with our students with technology. He was able to work closely with North Point developers, a developer within the Hanover Area School District. He and they came to an agreement to donate $35,000 to help make it more equitable for students to be able to have all the technological needs throughout this difficult time. So I want to thank Dr. Kopko publicly for working hard, and this board did congratulate him earlier for his dedication on making sure all these students had what they needed during this trying time. So I thank you, Dr. Kopko, publicly. And then finally, I just wanted to announce, and this is a repeated question that I want the community to understand. We did our laptop distribution, and some folks did choose not to pick up their laptops yet. They're satisfied with the device that they're using. As we approach closer to in-person instruction, we will have a secondary distribution because personal devices will not be allowed on our network due to safety and security. So during this time, it's perfectly okay for you to remain working on your own personal device. But as the community becomes healthier and we do look like we're going to head back into in-person instruction, we will then prepare a secondary laptop distribution so that you have everything you need to enter the school onto our network. Besides that, this is the last time I will see you prior to our holiday season. So I wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I wore my Christmas tie tonight, the last time we're with each other until then. So everybody enjoy your holiday. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to accept superintendent report?
Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Rick Stevens, second by Stacy Blythe. Roll call.
Ms. Blythe,
Yes.
Mr. Chivarella,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko,
Yes.
Mr. Maley,
Yes.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Ms. Potsko,
Joyce, unmute your mic, please. You're muted.
Yes.
Mr. Reddick,
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes.
Okay, general recommendations. Approve item number 1. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Paul Holmgren,
Second.
second by Dr. Kopko. I apologize. I really can't hear that good. Roll call.
Ms. Blythe,
Yes.
Mr. Chivarella,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko,
Yes.
Mr. Maley,
Yes.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Ms. Potsko,
Yes.
Mr. Reddick,
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes.
Okay, financial recommendations to approve items 1 through 3. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Joyce Potsko,
Second,
second by Rick Stevens. Roll call.
Ms. Blythe,
Yes.
Mr. Chivarella,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko,
Yes.
Mr. Maley,
Yes.
Mr. Majer,
Abstain on 1 and 2 and okay with 3.
Ms. Potsko,
Yes.
Mr. Reddick,
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes.
Okay, personnel recommendations to approve items 1 through 6. I will read number 1. Number 1 to read as approve the agreement between Hanover Area School District and Don Martinez for as needed occupational therapy sessions at a rate of $55 an hour for the 2020-2021 school year. So can I have a motions on items 1 through 6?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Ms. Blythe,
Yes.
Mr. Chivarella,
I abstain, and the reason I abstain is because I have multiple people that I knew that interviewed for it.
Mr. Holmgren,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko,
Yes.
Mr. Maley,
Yes.
Mr. Majer,
Staying on number 1 and good with the rest.
Ms. Potsko,
Yes.
Mr. Reddick,
Abstain on number 1. I'm good with the rest.
Mr. Stevens, abstain on number 1, and good with the rest.
Did that pass, Bill?
Yeah, 5-4.
Okay. New business? Old business? Any public comments? Future meetings, January work session to be announced, and the January regular meeting to be announced. And I have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Have a good holiday, everybody.
Before we
Motion by
adjourn, ladies and gentlemen, Nate, do you want to bring something up about the food distribution publicly or no?
He did.
In the superintendent's report, I believe
He
he
did.
did.
I'm sorry. I'm
Yes, sir. I brought it
I'm
up during
dozing
my,
off. I apologize.
yep, and I will post it to the website and our social media.
Thank you. I apologize.
Okay, we got a motion by Paul Holmgren to adjourn. I need a second.
Second.
By Mike Majer, roll call.
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Chivarella,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko,
Yes.
Mr. Maley,
Yes.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Ms. Potsko,
Yes.
Mr. Reddick,
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy
Happy
holidays and Merry
holidays.
Christmas, everyone.
Have a good one, everybody.
Yeah, keep it
Bye-bye.
safe. Bye. Oh, God.